Dear students, in this topic we will be talking about types of an essay. In the previous lecture, we were talking about the essay and its general format and the structure of an essay. In this topic, we are going to talk about the types of an essay. There are generally four types of an essay. The first one is narrative, the second one is descriptive, the third one is expository, and the fourth one is persuasive essay. Now we will be talking about all these types of an essay in detail. The first one we have got there is narrative essay. Narrative essay is when the writer is narrating an incident or story through the essay. A writer might have faced something in his life and now he is narrating that incident in a type of a story. Okay, and that story is written in a type of essay. The aim when writing narrative essay is to involve the reader in them as if they were right there when it was happening, so make them as vivid and real as possible. Narrative essay doesn't mean only to narrate a story from the past. It means to involve the reader in that situation, that the reader should feel like that the reader was also right there. Okay? One way to make this possible is to follow the principle of show, don't tell. Show, don't tell. So you must involve the reader in the story. So show, don't tell means to involve the reader in that situation, in that incident, that the reader feels that he was right there with you and he was also experiencing the same thing as you have experienced. The second type of essay we have got, that is the descriptive essays. Here the writer will describe a place, an object, or an event, or maybe even a memory, but it is not just plainly describing things. The writer must paint a picture through his word. That is a picturesque quality that is called of a reader. A picturesque quality of a reader. When he is describing an event or an object, he is presenting the vivid picture of that place. So the writer doesn't only read the words. The reader only does not read the words. He sees the object, the thing with his eyes, like inside the words he sees the picture. One clever way to do this is to evoke the senses of the reader. Do not only rely on sight but also involve the other senses of smell, touch, sound, etc. It doesn't only mean that the reader will only see the things. Okay, a writer must not only rely on the sight but also involve the other senses of smell, touch, sound, etc. A descriptive essay, when done well, will make the reader feel the emotion the writer was feeling at the moment. The reader and the writer will have the same emotion in the descriptive essay if it is planned well. Now, the third type of the essay is expository essay. The most important type of essay is called the expository essay. Expository is such an essay a writer presents a balanced study of a topic. It is a balanced study of a topic. To write such an essay, the writer must have real and extensive knowledge about the subject. There is no scope for the writer's feelings or emotion in an expository essay. One cannot share his feelings or his scope in that expository essay. Expository essay is completely based on facts, statistics, examples, etc. There are subtypes like contrast essay, cause and effect essays, etc. So expository essay is always based on fact. The writer must present the facts through the charts, through the pie charts, through the graphs, through the citation, but whatever the writer is writing over here in the expository essay, that must be based on the truth. That must be based on fact. A writer cannot say anything which he doesn't know or which is not based on the truth. Expository essay is always in the comparative examination. Like one cannot write anything by his own. Whatever you write, that is research proof, that is empirical, that is quite true, and the reader agrees with the fact and all the things. The facts Here, when are shown, the facts must be cited. Whenever a writer aids or writes something, he must cite that work. He must give a reference of that work, that he has read that thing in an article, in a survey, in a magazine, in a graph, or something like that. A writer cannot include anything which is not based on truth or which only he knows. That must be a universal thing whenever he writes here. In this type of essay, mainly we discuss two things. We discuss the causes of something, and then we discuss the effects of those causes. Suppose we add a topic right over here: overpopulation. Overpopulation is an expository essay. First of all, the writer will discuss the causes of the overpopulation. What are the causes? The lack of education, no proper family planning, all these are the causes of overpopulation. Okay, and the effects of the overpopulation, that poor economy, less job, unemployment, poverty, and all these things, then these are the effects of the causes of the overpopulation. So in the expository essay, we must be stressing the causes and then the effects of that problem. Expository essays are always based on problems. After the expository essay, we are going to talk about the persuasive essays. Here, the purpose of the essay is to get the reader to your side of the argument. Okay, persuasive essay is also called an argumentative essay, in which we have a topic, in which we have a choice. There will be two sides of a topic, like whether you want to go for the topic or to go against the topic. That is called the argumentative essay. Suppose we have a topic that is colonial mentality impeding Pakistan's way to progress? Is colonial mentality impeding Pakistan's way to progress? So, if the writer wants to go for the topic, so he will say yes, colonial mentality impeding Pakistan's way to progress. If he doesn't want to go for the topic, he will say no, colonial mentality doesn't impeding Pakistan's way to progress. In the argumentative essay or the persuasive essay, you must start with yes or no. If you want to go for the topic, the very first word of your essay will be yes. If you don't want to go for the topic, the very first word of your essay introduction will be no. In order to tell the reader that whether you are supporting the topic or you are going against the topic. A persuasive essay is not just a presentation of facts, but an attempt to convince the reader of the writer's point of view. The main and the sole purpose of the persuasive essay for the writer is to convince and persuade the reader. Both sides of the argument have to be presented in these essays, but the ultimate aim is to persuade the reader that the writer's arguments carries more weight. Whatever you write, you must convince the reader. Your sole aim of writing persuasive essay is to convince the reader. Whatever you are saying, you have to convince the reader and he should believe your words. That is the sole aim of the persuasive essay.